Growth is rarely comfortable. It doesn't arrive with certainty or clear instructions. It arrives with questions, with doubt, with moments where you feel completely unsure of what comes next. And yet, those are the moments that shape you the most. Those are the moments where you are asked to trust yourself, even when you don't have all the answers. Especially when you don't have all the answers. Because this new chapter is not about having everything figured out. It's about becoming the kind of person who can walk forward without needing to see the entire path. There will be moments when you want to go back. Moments when the unknown feels too heavy, too uncertain, too overwhelming. You might find yourself missing the comfort of what you used to know, even if it no longer served you. That's normal. That's human. But you cannot grow by returning to a version of your life that no longer fits the person you are becoming. You cannot step into something new while holding on to everything from the past. At some point, you have to let go. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. And letting go doesn't always mean forgetting. It doesn't mean that what you experienced didn't matter. It means you are choosing yourself. You are choosing your growth, your peace, your future. You are choosing to trust that what lies ahead is worth the uncertainty you feel right now. That the discomfort you are experiencing is not here to break you, but to reshape you, to prepare you for something deeper, something more aligned, something that reflects who you truly are. You may not feel ready. That's the truth. Very few people ever feel fully ready when they step into a new chapter. There will always be fears, always be doubts, always be parts of you that hesitate. But readiness is not about the absence of fear. It's about moving forward despite it. It's about listening to that quiet voice inside you that says, keep going, even when everything else feels uncertain. That voice is yours. There is a quiet shift happening inside you, something you can't fully explain yet, but you can feel it in the way your thoughts linger a little longer, in the way your heart reacts to things that once felt ordinary. It's subtle, almost like a whisper, but it's persistent. You might have tried to ignore it, to push it aside and continue as you always have, but it keeps returning, gently reminding you that something is changing. You are standing at the edge of something new, even if you cannot see it clearly yet. And maybe that uncertainty makes you uncomfortable. Maybe it makes you question whether you're ready, whether you're capable, whether you deserve what's coming. But deep down, beneath all the noise and doubt, there is a quiet knowing. You are not here by accident. This moment is not random. You are being guided into a new chapter of your life. It doesn't always feel like a grand entrance. Sometimes, it feels like confusion. Like things falling apart instead of coming together. Like doors closing without warning. Like plans unraveling. Like people drifting away without explanation. And in those moments, it's easy to think you are losing something important. It's easy to hold on tightly, to resist the change, to try and force things back to how they used to be. But what if this isn't loss? What if this is preparation? What if everything that feels like it's leaving your life is simply making space for something that belongs to the person you are becoming? You are not the same person you were before. Even if you still carry the same name, live in the same place, or follow the same routines, something inside you has shifted. You've learned things you can't unlearn. You've felt things you can't unfeel, that you've seen truths that you can no longer ignore. And because of that, your old life, the one you once fit into so easily, no longer feels right. It may feel familiar, but it doesn't feel aligned. And that discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a. There is a moment, just before everything changes, where life feels strangely still. Not peaceful, not chaotic, just paused. As if the world is holding its breath, waiting for you to notice something you've been overlooking. You might feel it in quiet moments, when distractions fade and your thoughts become louder. A sense that you can't keep living the same way. A sense that something within you is asking for more. Not more noise, not more pressure, but more truth. And that feeling is not random. It is the signal that you are already stepping into your new chapter, even if your outer world hasn't caught up yet. You don't need a dramatic sign to confirm it. You don't need everything to make sense before you begin. The truth is, this chapter begins the moment you decide to listen to yourself differently. The moment you stop ignoring what you feel. The moment you stop shrinking to fit into spaces that no longer understand you. That decision may feel small, almost invisible, but it shifts everything. Because from that point forward, you are no longer living on autopilot. You are choosing awareness. You are choosing alignment. And that choice will quietly reshape your entire life. There will be a different kind of clarity that starts to form within you. Not loud or overwhelming, but steady. You will begin to recognize what drains you and what fills you. You will see patterns you once overlooked. You will feel a natural pull toward things that reflect who you are becoming, not who you used to be. And at the same time, you may feel a distance growing between you and certain people, places, or habits. Not out of judgment, but out of growth. And that distance may feel lonely at times. It may make you question whether you're doing the right thing. But what you're actually experiencing is alignment taking place. You are learning to honor your energy, to respect your boundaries, to trust your inner voice even when it contradicts the expectations around you. And that is not. Right now, you are being asked to trust in something invisible, to believe in a version of your life that hasn't fully revealed itself yet. And that takes courage, more courage than most people realize, because it means stepping away from what is known and stepping into something that has no guarantees. But here's what you need to understand. The path you are walking is not random. Every step, every experience, every moment of confusion or clarity is shaping you into exactly who you need to become for what is ahead. This is not the end of something. It only feels that way because you are leaving behind what is familiar. But in reality, this is a beginning. A quiet, powerful beginning that is unfolding in ways you may not fully see yet. And you don't need to see it all. You just need to take the next step, one step at a time, one moment at a time, trusting that each step is leading you somewhere meaningful. You are not lost. You are in transition. And transition is a sacred space that it's the space between who you were and who you are becoming. It's uncomfortable because it's unknown, but it's also full of possibility. More possibility than you've allowed yourself to imagine. Because in this space, you are not defined by your past. You are not limited by old patterns or expectations. You are free to become something new. And maybe that's what scares you the most. Not the change itself, but the realization that you have the power to change. That you are not stuck. That you are not bound to the life you've always known. That you can choose differently, live differently, become differently. That kind of freedom can feel overwhelming. But it's also where your true life begins. So take a moment. Breathe. Feel where you are right now. Not where you think you should be, not where you used to be, but where you are. Because this moment matters. This moment is part of your becoming. And even if it feels uncertain, even if it feels uncomfortable, it is leading you somewhere. Because this chapter is not about rushing forward. It's about deepening. It's about becoming more present, more aware, more connected to yourself than you have ever been before. It's about building a life that feels real to you, not one that simply looks right from the outside. And that kind of life requires patience. It requires trust. It requires you to keep showing up, even when progress feels slow. But here is what you may not fully realize yet. You are already doing it. Every moment you choose awareness over avoidance. Every moment you choose truth over comfort. Every moment you listen to that quiet voice inside you. You are stepping deeper into this new chapter. It is not something that suddenly arrives one day. It is something you are living, right now, in ways both seen and unseen. And one day, you will look back at this moment. Not with confusion, not with doubt, but with understanding. You will see how everything that felt uncertain was actually guiding you. How every ending was creating space. How every uncomfortable feeling was pointing you towards something more aligned. And you will realize that you were never lost. You were simply in the process of becoming. So don't rush this. Don't try to force clarity where it hasn't fully formed yet. Allow things to unfold. Allow yourself to grow into this new space naturally. Trust that what is meant for you will meet you as you become ready to receive it. Not before, not after. Exactly when it's meant to. You are not stepping into something unfamiliar. You are returning to something true. A deeper version of yourself that has always been there, waiting for you to listen. And now, you are finally hearing it. This is your beginning. Quiet, powerful, real. And this time, you are ready in a way that truly matters. And yes, there will be moments where you feel like you're walking alone. Moments where others may not understand your decisions, your silence, your distance. They may question you. They may misunderstand you. But this path was never meant to be crowded. Growth often asks you to walk through spaces that feel unfamiliar, to trust directions that others cannot see. And that doesn't mean you are wrong. It means you are evolving. You are shedding layers, old beliefs, old fears, Old identities that once protected you, but now limit you. And as those layers fall away, you may feel exposed, vulnerable in a way you haven't felt before. But within that vulnerability is your truth. A version of you that is no longer hiding, no longer pretending, no longer waiting for the right moment to finally exist fully. That version of you is emerging now, slowly but undeniably. This chapter will ask you to be honest in ways you've avoided. Honest about what you want. Honest about what you deserve. Honest about what you can no longer tolerate. And that honesty will change your decisions. It will change your relationships. It will change the way you show up in your own life. Not because you are trying to become someone else, but because you are finally allowing yourself to be who you already are. You will also begin to notice something else. A quiet sense of peace, even in uncertainty. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer fighting yourself. You are no longer forcing paths that don't feel right. You are no longer ignoring your own needs. And that inner alignment creates a kind of stability that nothing external can provide. It becomes your anchor, your foundation, the place you return to when everything else feels unclear. This doesn't mean the journey will be easy. There will still be challenges, still be moments of doubt, moments where fear tries to pull you back into old patterns. But now, you will see them differently. You will recognize them as part of TH.